You're listening to the IBJ Media Podcast Network.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, August 18th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. In a move solar proponents are calling a devastating blow, the Environmental Protection Agency abruptly announced this month it is cutting off nearly $130 million in federal funding for solar projects in Indiana. Allison Becker is program director within the Indiana Community Action Association.
It's really frustrating and it's disheartening for groups who have been working on this literally for years, even before this grant. And I think what is most disappointing is we've seen a ton of news stories recently about the high cost of electric bills, how homeowners are struggling to afford that.
The money is Indiana's share of the $7 billion Solar for All initiative that was designated for low-income communities to install solar panels. Nonprofit leaders estimate the funding could have helped between 6,000 and 10,000 Hoosier families offset rising electric rates. The Carroll County Economic Development Corporation has appointed James Wells as its new CEO and executive director. Wells most recently served as a real estate allocation analyst with the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. He succeeds Jake Adams, who was appointed director of the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs by Governor Mike Braun in February. The 145-year-old Traders Point Covered Bridge in Indianapolis, the Emily Kimbrough Historic District in Muncie, and Kiwanis Field in LaPorte are listed for the first time on Indiana Landmarks' annual compilation of the state's 10 most endangered landmarks. You can view the full list at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media Podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Elevate Ventures has been deemed in breach of lending language in all of its active loan agreements with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation after defaulting on an angel investment program this month.
IEDC Senior Vice President of Entrepreneurship and Small Business David Watkins gave the venture capital company 30 days to cure the breaches before it nears default on those agreements. In a Wednesday letter, he asked Elevate Ventures to provide a detailed financial plan and schedule to, quote, demonstrate how it will be able to fulfill all of its outstanding obligations, end quote, and why the IEDC shouldn't make all outstanding loans due immediately. The firm operates the Indiana Angel Network Fund intended to entice and aid angel investments to Hoosier startups. It nabbed the contract with IEDC on August 2, 2011, with repayment due exactly 14 years later. The IEDC sent a request for repayment of nearly $17 million the day before. Elevate Ventures repaid about $13 million on August 4th, falling more than $4.3 million short. That prompted another letter, this time a notice of payment default that requested full payment within 5 business days. The August 5th document warned that the unpaid principal balance would rack up interest at 8% or about $950 daily. Elevate Ventures failed to pay in full by August 12th, constituting an event of default under the contract. The IEDC also froze all accounts related to Elevate Ventures. Elevate's repayment struggle comes 3 months after it was dubbed, quote, an entity of interest alongside the IEDC and its nonprofit arm in a forensic investigation of potential financial wrongdoing. I'm Marek Mazurek with Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Kentucky Public Transportation Infrastructure Authority has authorized the financial plan for the final section of the I-69 Ohio River Crossing Project, connecting Evansville and Henderson, Kentucky via a new bridge over the Ohio River. Section 2 involves the actual construction of the bridge, which comes with a $933 million price tag. Under the Bi-State Development Agreement with Indiana, the Kentucky agency will be responsible for financing, development, construction, operation, and maintenance of the bridge. Construction on the bridge is expected to begin in early 2027 and be completed in 2031. Fresh off hosting the Live Golf Tour, the city of Westfield is about to unveil details of a new master plan for transformational growth. The city is already in the midst of more than $250 million in development in its downtown, with more on the way, according to Mayor Scott Willis.
When I became mayor, I really wanted to focus on creating a livable, walkable destination in our downtown area. So we're getting ready to unveil, probably in the next 30 days, a new vision for the entire downtown area that's going to go all the way east to Cary Road and south a mile and north a mile. So it's going to really be a new vision for a walkable, livable downtown area.
During the Live Golf Indianapolis event this past weekend, the league announced it will use its one-year option to return to the club at Chatham Hills for its individual championship. Noblesville Mayor Chris Jensen is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
What happens when a basketball superstar changes the course of an entire city? I'm Mickey Shuey, and in Beyond Clarkonomics, we tell the story of how Caitlin Clark's arrival to the Indiana Fever sparked more than just sold-out arenas. It's rewriting Indianapolis's long-term strategy for sports, downtown growth, and women's leadership. Listen at ibjpodcast.com or on your favorite podcast app.
Want to give your team a real edge? The IBJ Group Plan delivers unlimited access to every story, every report, every video from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business for your whole team. Cover some or all of your employees with one simple payment. The more you add, the more you save. It's smart, it's flexible, and it saves you up to 30% off the standard rate. Already have IBJ subscribers in your office? Group up and save big. Learn more and get started now at ibj.com/group-plan.